Hello everyone, welcome back to the Practically Blind workshop, or welcome if you're new. So today I've been asked to make a little wheelbarrow shaped planter box, and what I've got is some scraps of CLS planed squared edged pine, all different dimensions, 1x5, 1x6, 1x8. I've actually made a similar thing on my channel before, and what I'll do is I'll put a link in the description so you can check that out if you want to. Alright, so let's get on with it. So what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to cut this widest piece, which I believe is an 1x8. I'm going to cut it into 3 pieces. So it'll be the front of the wheelbarrow, the bottom of the wheelbarrow, and the back of the wheelbarrow. So I'm going to use these 2 pieces as the sides of the wheelbarrow, and when I cut the front and back of the wheelbarrow, I need to make sure that the front and the back aren't taller than the sides. So what I'll do now is I'll now cut these at the miter saw, but what I'll do is I will tip the blade to a bevel of about 15 degrees so that the wheelbarrow isn't just a box basically and looks more like a trough. So that's the front, back and bottom of the wheelbarrow cut. I'm now going to get that glued and pinned together. So I've just done something that I normally forget to do, which is to pre-soak the end grain with some wood glue. And I just want to thank Red at Red's Workshop, because watching his videos always reminds me to do that. And I know to do it, but I always forget. So thank you, Red. And I'm just using some 18 gauge 35mm brad nails to pin it together. So that's the front, back and bottom piece all fixed together. Now what I'm going to do is just offer up these side pieces and just draw around the profile. Then what I'll do is I'll take it over to the miter saw and just move my blade to that angle and cut them. So I've just cut them side pieces, and now I'm just going to get them glued and pinned on as well. So next what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut these little corners off where the front and back angle don't match up with the side angles. So that's the main body of the wheelbarrow done. All I've got to do is round over all the sharp edges and corners with the sander. So I'm just going to put this to one side for the minute and start working on the handles. So normally when I make these wheelbarrows, I normally just use straight pieces of stock, like pieces of batten, along the side and sticking out the back as handles. But for this one, I want to make it a little bit more special. So I want to do a shaped, something similar to that, but hopefully better. So I'm just going to use this crude drawing as a guide, and I'm just going to try and do a nice sweeping curve, like an S curve. What happens? So what I'll do is I'll refine the shape of this one on the belt sander, and I'll use this one as a template to make the second one using a flush cut bearing guided profile bit in the router. So I'm just going to use the masking tape and super glue trick to fix the finished one to the unfinished one, so that I can route around it as a so now that I've routed almost halfway through the second piece, I can take the first piece off and then use this lip as my new template. So that's the two handle pieces cut. While I've got the router out, I'm just going to round over all the edges with a round over bit. Made some legs for the wheelbarrow, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to place them where I want them and then drill holes from the bottom and then screw in from the inside. So now I just need to cut two pieces of this batten long enough, about 4 or 5 inches past the front of the wheelbarrow, just to allow space for the wheel. And I'll just quickly do that at the miter saw and I'll be back in a sec. So I've cut the two supports for the wheel, and I'll eventually round these ends over. But now I'm just going to cut a wheel out of this inch thick piece of pine. I'm just going to get it as close as I can, then refine it on the belt sander. So I've cut out my wheel and I've rounded over the ends of the wheel braces. Now I'm just going to fix the wheel braces to the wheel. I'm just going to use screw, I'm not going to glue it. And now I'm just centering the wheel braces to the center of the wheelbarrow. And what I'll do is I'll just get this screwed to the bottom of the wheelbarrow. So now I'm just going to get the handles fixed on. That is it all finished. I'm not going to put any stain or preservative on it because I don't know what the person wants on it. Again, I'm not going to put any plastic liner because I don't know what they want to do. And other than a bit of sanding, which I'm going to save you the bother of watching, that is it done. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. It really helps the channel and it helps the video get seen more. If you basically, the longer you watch the video, YouTube thinks that more people want to see it, and that's what my channel's missing really, because a lot of people don't watch to the end of the video. But I really appreciate it if you have. Also, if you don't mind, if you could give me a thumbs up and share it, that really helps as well. And leave me a comment, because I don't really get a lot of comments, and it's sort of, I get decent views but no comments. And that, I think that helps the algorithm share the video as well. And if you like this sort of thing, I'll link on the end screen, on the end cards, another video that I think you might like. Other than that, I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.